Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 140 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have all of our players here today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. Uh, I'll go ahead and jump into things, get stuff started, give us a little recap, and we can get the ball rolling as for once we are starting off. I'm not going to say in a calm environment, but a less threatening environment. How special for you guys. How special. Uh, Last session, you arrived very abruptly in the center of the Forest of Eden, a place very noted to be hostile, not people friendly. Nobody goes in there, and if they go in, they don't come out. So at least you can put a little star on your achievement sheet of not dying in the forest. Spoiler alert. Uh, you all spend a night in the bubble, watching the interesting changes in nature in this place, the way that it differs from the world that you exist in every day. Nature seems to move quickly here. The places where you fell from the sky and impacted the ground, the grass picks itself back up, regrows like it never happened. The tree branches that you crashed through begin to lean back into place and block out the sun once more. The creatures in here seem larger than necessary and going through their lifespans at an accelerated rate as you watch a lunar moth, large in size, decide that your bubble is a great place to take a final rest. And because it landed atop your bubble, you didn't have to deal with a corrupted version of a lunar moth. Lucky day. Uh, but you all loot and burn Ing's body. You spend the night in this haunting and beautiful place. A picnic basket appears that nobody was interested in. It's fine. Just rip a page out of my notebook. It's gone for. It's fine. Don't look at the terrible picnic basket in the forest. It's cool. Uh, but you wake up the next day, and after
It's a
obviously
picnic basket, I'm sure.
being stalked by the denizens of the forest, you all jump through a tree using Nyx's ability and arrive on the outskirts of town where you take the time to heal yourselves to the best of your abilities. Nana is still stuck with a scar. Keld is still missing a hand, and Nyx now has an extension on the ice that had been growing on her shoulder, which now goes down her arm and up the side of her neck onto her face. You all arrive in town and decide, hey, let's get cleaned up and relax. That'd be so nice, says everyone, as you approach the Hard Fiddle, the inn that you had been staying at. And mounted atop the door is the corpse, the mangled and defiled corpse of one Purity's Curse, is how people had been referring to it. And after considering taking it down, Keld says that it should be left there, that he will not assist in taking this body down. And you enter into the tavern to meet three very high energy individuals, three women that are a very strong mixture of very overt femininity and strength, but also just like the grunge of battle and combat just mixed into these people as they walk around in their heels and their makeup and their skirts, but have also mounted a body on the wall outside. Uh, One of them, claiming her name is Thor, stands atop the table and tells a story of how they went into a pocket dimension. And for them, it felt like 3 years that they were hunting down this Purity's Curse, this boogeyman that went to Noaten, they believe, in search of souls in distress and torment and chaos. Uh, and after 3 years of what they refer to as him training them to kill him, They eventually do just that and slay him and find out that they only had been gone for about a month and then came right here to present this information to Russ to get free drinks. And and that is where we left off, is with the cacophony of sound in this tavern of people talking and shouting. They have kind of set a precedent of energy in the place as the three of them, these three women, one of them slender, one of them larger and more muscular, and one of them with the head and lower legs of a bull, all make their way over to the bar as kind of a unit and are now loudly talking at the bartender about refilling drinks and getting what they believe they are owed. And that is where we are going to pick up. Is there anything anybody wanted to do? Keld, you had been um, staring at this body and then watching and listening to this story, sort of um, in whatever emotion you may have been feeling about it. Your emotions are your own, but is there anything you'd like to do?
He would definitely want
Lean
to
away from your
approach.
mic. Lean back.
He would definitely want to approach them at some point.
Uh,
So whenever he sees an opening, he's going to do that.
okay. You all watch Keld like kind of like look it over and see like an opening at the bar next to one of them, as the three of them are all together in one space at this time, which is almost hard to catch as they are in sort of a constant movement. But Keld kind of straightens up and makes a beeline to that direction.
Whew.
Is there anything else anybody is doing? Keld's making his way over to the bar.
Fenn's gonna go up to his room and clean up the best he can.
Okay. All right. Fenn's getting cleaned up.
I feel like I remember Russ kind of beckoned at least Nyx over
Yeah.
to.
I mean, you
the
guys
table
were
and
next to
then
Russ when this ended. That was the.
Okay. Okay.
You guys were kind of flanking Russ at the end.
All right. Cool. 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 I think Nana will kind of like grab some drinks from the bar and bring them over to the table just for Russ and Nyx and anybody else who seems like they
Happily.
are hanging out and needing one.
I will take more of them that should probably have been given to me. Yeah.
We'll start you with one, buddy,
Nope.
buddy, and we'll see where you go. Okay.
Nyx begins drinking. During this time, as kind of everybody starts to go off and do things, there's a moment where it is just Russ and Nyx, and he like glances over at you and sort of keeps it like very nonchalant, like very casual. Did you want to stay down here and drink and be merry, or did you want to go upstairs and relax or talk or
Is it that bad? They haven't said it. Is it? They didn't say anything. I thought. Let's go upstairs. I'm gonna grab multiple drinks and start going upstairs then.
as he kind of opens his mouth and it just sort of stays open as he tries to find words, you're like, all right, here we go.
Going upstairs then. If it's that bad that he's actually saying something.
Oh.
Russ says something. Holy shit. Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gather drinks and head upstairs. Let's start with Keld. As Keld, you're blue, you're missing a hand. But some things you gotta do. And
People change.
And
You
you know
have
what? If
changed.
anybody can identify with magic places fucking with a person for an extended period, I feel like it's these ladies.
And their kind of constant chant of "We are forever changed," and you're like, "Yeah, no,
I'll
that's
drink to that.
that's valid." You make your way over to them. What are you gonna do? What do you say?
Um, he's just gonna squeeze in next to them and say, "You three have done the world a favor."
Uh, you step in, and the response you get at first is a bit underwhelming.
Mm.
You get like a very curt, like three women being like, "Yeah, thanks, awesome." Like it's like a kind of a like, "Yeah, okay." And the woman with the head of a bull in the gingham dress glances over, just as you're kind of taking in the like, "Okay," of the situation. She's like, "I think he actually means it." And then the other two heads kind of turn in unison. The muscular woman who introduced herself as Thor, holding a drink that is like water tension at the top, ready to just spill. Shit, my bad, thank you. And is going to hand you that drink, and then like pat the bar again, waiting for another one.
Oh, thanks. But I mean
Yeah,
it.
start. Yeah. Thor kind of smirks and gets kind of comfortable in her seat. I don't feel like we get a lot of genuine thank yous. We could be wrong, but you don't usually get thanked for, and she like looks by the door. You don't usually get thanked by that. Sometimes
Mm.
people say thank you because they want some of your drinks or something, but not a lot of genuine thank yous,
Well, I guess they're lucky they don't know who that is.
aren't they? um, she kind of points to you. That new? You see, she's pointing to your lack of a hand.
Mm. It's like the blue.
This also, yes.
Yeah.
Me, yes.
Oh, he'll raise his arm. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep reaching with it.
Oops.
No, it's fine. Uh, and you watch as she kind of like nods and then like leans back, and you watch the slender woman kind of like leans, who's sitting on the bar, kind of leans in, and the woman with the head of a bull leans in as well, as they kind of
Mhm.
move into like one unit. Whose is this? And you hear just kind of the murmuring across each other. And the Gressa, the one with the head of a bull. I don't do fur on fur, it's up to you. And kind of turns her focus back to the bar. And then they split. Keld, you're right next to them. This is
Yeah.
not a secret conversation.
Er.
uh, and the other two kind of focus on you. And the more slender woman, introduced as Maggie. So, what happened to you?
It's probably not as exciting as your story, but he'll relate the recent trials.
Mhm. Oh, shit. I thought the blue looked very natural.
Thanks. To be fair, my sister's blue, so now we match.
Oh, that's sweet. Aw. A bunch of ahs. As a new drink is now put in front of Thor, who raises a finger, and just one of those long 6 seconds of somebody who's like, no, no, I have a drink to fully finish. Um, Finishes her drink, sets it back down, and like holds on to it, but presents it to be refilled. Well, that's a lot of information. I'm glad somebody's I'm glad somebody else out there is, doing something about all this.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. But that's two down, I guess. One boogeyman, one cultist. I'm not really familiar with your objects of interest.
Mm, that's a way to put it.
Yeah. Um, are you in town for anything in particular? Do you live here?
No, definitely not. We're just here for the time being. There's a
Mm.
party we're trying to attend.
Uh, fucking party. uh, tear. Oh God, no! Now everyone
Oh.
knows. Now everyone knows. Ah,
Pulls off the mask.
pulls off mask. It's been me this whole time. Um, they both start with T. Both big, strong ladies. I don't know what to do. Uh, Thor sort of perks up, and Maggie at this point has slipped over the bar and has like started like running a finger along glasses and like turning them around and trying to like look at labels and like pick something that she wants. The bartender seems to want to say something,
Mm,
but decides not to in this moment. Decides that's actually not worth it.
Yep.
That is certainly not worth it. Uh, so you're left with Thor and Gressa, who Gressa's already tapped out.
Yeah.
You've already heard.
Verbally.
You heard verbally that she's like, I'm actually good, thank you.
I'm not a
But
furry.
like actually, no thank you. But Thor stays focused in with you. And it's hard to find people who understand this, and once again does the gesture. We'll keep referring to it as that. People, you you know, everybody has to step out of their comfort zone and maybe do something they don't like or something dangerous or painful or hurtful. And some people are just born for that. Some people are needed to be that. And I'm going to keep killing bad guys and hanging their bodies up on the wall until I die. And you didn't bring a cool body to hang up on the wall, that's fine, but I'm just I'm just saying it's a recognizable kinship.
It does seem to be, doesn't it?
Mm. So how many people have you killed? How many people were caught in the crossfire of justice? And at this point, Gressa sort of
Mm.
taps the bar with her hands. Yep, all yours, and just kind of like pushes the back of her head as she stands up and picks up multiple drinks.
Kild's gonna definitely take a moment, sort of
Yeah,
looks
and I'm
down at
not.
his drink.
Yeah, you're looking down at your drink and she's watching you. And I'm not talking about corrupted people or monsters or broken things. I'm talking about the living, breathing ones. How many?
Would you share the same with me?
Of course, can't be a secret. But you first, because I asked real nice. Unless you're embarrassed.
He lifts his head. 19.
Mm. That's rough.
Yeah, it
Hopefully
feels
20
like
is special.
more the longer I think about it.
It does, doesn't it? 19. That's, if you look at it like patrons in a bar, how many tables is that? A third of them, half of them, depends on the day.
Probably too many.
Too many. It's always too many. $37.
37.
You're not there.
Uh,
You're not
You're not
here.
From the
there.
other
You're
room,
pining for
37.
Kareen.
Upstairs. 37.
The whole bar goes silent and then turns around and says 37 and then goes back to what they're doing.
It sounds rough.
It
But the
does.
world is better off without those 37 people. I
I
mean,
believe that.
yeah. And I believe the world's probably better off without those 19.
I like to think so.
Bummer about your hand. Are you going to get like a hook or
Yeah, I should probably think about that. I'm
get like
hoping
a little knife?
my sister's good with healing, so I'm hoping she'll be able to come up with something.
Well, her and Gressa should hang out. Gressa's pretty good at the magical stitching of wounds. I haven't watched her regrow anything, but I haven't asked. So
Hmm.
who's to say? But I am sure your sister will make you right as rain, or you keep it and you have a fun little story piece.
So many options.
Yeah, yeah, that nice. You want another drink?
Yeah, I could use another drink.
Okay. And Thor is going to continue to order you all drinks. Meanwhile, upstairs, we'll slowly drift this way. Actually, real quick, Nana, anything else as everyone scatters and you're like, all right, and you sip your drink.
Well, I mean, yeah, everybody's gone. I assume. I think Ro isn't down here. He's gone up to
Rose
the room.
upstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone up to the room to identify stuff. Nana's gonna go ahead and grab a couple fresh ones, maybe a couple extra to grow on, and take those up to Ro. Um, if he wants some, cool. If not, more for her. She's got a lot to process, and he's got a lot to identify. And she has some questions, but she's not gonna lead with that, obviously. But yeah.
All right. Fen is actively scrubbing the dirt out from under his nails.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a pretty lady to impress.
Got to.
Sorry, everybody at home.
She plays the
ASMR.
harp. She'll notice his fingernails.
She said she was fine that his fingernails were dirty, but
She lied.
but now Fen's sweating about it. It's like, no, please. Don't perceive me this way.
she noticed.
Oh God. Everything's changing.
Oh no,
I think
Senpai noticed the wrong part of me.
I think we'll make our way over to the second blue individual of this team. We'll just go through the colors and we'll eventually get around. Nyx, you enter Russ's room and he kind of closes the door behind him. It's I can't put it on a scale of like good and bad, because the thing in itself is bad, and now I am actively looking at it physically, like on your face.
I mean, just take off the overshirt. It's down to my hand now.
And
It's a lot now.
do you know why it got that way, or?
So I don't know if it's because of like what they hit me with. I got hit, and it's the second time that when people from that cult hit me, it spread. So I don't know if it's just something that they're specifically doing, or technically, I'm sorry, technically this time I did die, but it wasn't because they hit me. It was because I put on a ring that killed me. But I'm not wearing that. It's in the bag with Roshan now.
Right.
Sean's in the bag.
Sure. I'm being
It's in the
very
bag,
super
Roshan.
casual about all of this, because I'm very casual.
So chill.
It's you should look at it. You should know what you're dealing with.
Trying to figure. There's no mirrors in here. Okay. Grab her scrying pot and try to freeze the water and with shape water and change the color to be like a mirror. See
You
if that'll
take a
work.
moment. It's not the most efficient mirror in the world,
No.
but you are looking at your reflection. And it is different.
They didn't say anything. None of them. That's okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of how they were hitting me, but if it's anything, it's not like I can stop going after these people.
I understand.
Just gonna sit down.
I brought up your situation with my handler, and the only way that she's going to be able to see if it is something we are able to deal with, which I don't see why we couldn't, she is going to need to see you in person.
Okay. There's so much screaming.
The youths are
Okay.
screaming.
There's so
It's
much.
summer.
Why are the children screaming?
I don't
It's
know.
summer.
That's what they do.
The children are out and about, boys.
I'm watching them run
Screaming
by.
around town.
They're running somewhere.
They're-
Would that today? Like, is there something set up to do that, or
we could certainly do it in the next couple days. That should be fine enough. It's already late today, but we could set something up.
Really weird. We left that forest and it was morning. It was really weird.
Huh. It's a weird fucking forest. I saw a rainbow spider. I watched it eat a wizard.
We were in it twice. There's
Well,
a lot of. There was a bone snake, and I'm trying to find out if I can turn into it.
I sure hope you can turn into a sweet bone snake.
Thank you. Maybe tomorrow. I don't have any plans, so yeah, whenever we can meet up with her.
Right. I'll get something figured out. She's in town, so she shouldn't be too too hard to catch up with. I don't know if she's staying in town. I don't understand magic half the time. Sometimes you're here, sometimes there, sometimes you're in the woods, sometimes you're not in the woods.
If not, I don't know. There might be something back where Keld and I are from, but it kind of seemed like it was a bad choice to try to follow that route to fix it.
Nix, I will follow literally any bad route you want me to walk down.
I don't know if I want anyone to go that route, but we'll
Okay,
see.
yeah, we have a consultation with my handler who maybe knows stuff unclear, but she seemed, I'll take a look, I guess. You know how people are.
Do you think she knows how to grow back hands? Because Keld's missing one now.
Held okay. I didn't want to say anything because he was blue and he was missing a hand, and all of you looked terrible.
I don't know. I haven't really had time to talk to anybody.
You might want to work on your collective baggage as a team.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong with most of them. They don't share anything, ever.
Well, good luck with that.
It's bad. It's so bad.
I mean, I already planned to go bother Angel. I'm not doing it today. I'm not a psychopath. But like tomorrow, I'm going to be like, "Oh, you have a secret to tell me," and I'll figure that out at some point.
And I think he's just sitting in there looking at magic items.
No, not doing it now. I'm not doing it now. It's very tempting. Hey, this might be a little heavy. I don't know. Before you left, this was just sort of weighing on me a bit. You and I were talking, and you said something like you can have a secret. We all have a secret. It's fine. Like about my employer.
Yeah.
Do you have a secret?
If I do, it's just I haven't thought to tell you yet.
So, Nix, I'm the only one sitting here with a secret.
I think so. It's fine though. You can have your secret.
But do we need to?
I don't think so, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable and feel like you have to share it.
All right. My boss's name is Sindri. They work in Skull City. They work on, see, this is the part where I'm just not very smart, but they work on development. Their focus is bettering the lives of the people, expansion. There's a big group of people, and they all work on making Skull City function to the best of its ability. And his focus is on the needs of the people. So that's why we're so focused in research, and that the goal is to always preserve life to the best of our abilities.
Mm-hmm.
If I think of a better word, I'll certainly tell you, but it's just a man of the people, I suppose.
I don't think I've heard his name before, but now I'm happy to keep the secret with you.
All right. And it's not even really a secret. It's just like go around spouting out your boss's name. And the second I said a boss, all of your friends were like, Is your boss the king of the Valkyrie? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I couldn't tell you.
I have the phrases are new to me, I'll tell you that. He's never kicked open a door out of one of a busy business day and been like, by the way, Russ, I'm king of the Valkyrie. And I'm like, sure, totally.
They've been through a lot. So just,
I mean, that is very apparent, yes.
yeah.
But you can relay to them if they're ever suspicious. My boss has never presented themselves
As the king of the Falcon.
as the king of the Valkyrie.
Okay. I think that'll help them. Hopefully.
Whatever they need, because, oh
no.
Yeah. Maybe when we talk to them next, it'll be better. I don't know. They just.
Listen, secrets get people hurt. That's all I know. So I'm not going to be part of any secret keeping. Not from you. So
I appreciate that. Do I owe you any fun facts? I don't know how many I gave you last time.
I would love some fun facts.
Let's see. Ooh. My favorite mushroom are those big white puffball ones. They're just gigantic.
That is a solid mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to dwell on if I have a favorite mushroom. I will get back to you on the topic.
Right. It's because, that was what I picked for when I got my title. Like, that was the thing I found to bring for that whole ceremony. And it's been my favorite since then.
You have a title?
Cal's the big pot and I'm the little pot.
I see. So you had a little fancy ceremony, you showed up with a mushroom, and then you got to be the little pot?
Yes.
I like it. I don't think I'd be as good at picking out like an object to put into like a food scenario, but
yeah, it's like you put it into the really big pot, or it could be a side thing. It's just part of the feast that you lead.
Oh, lead a feast, get a title.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
If you go with, maybe there'll be one. I don't know.
Oh.
Haven't been home in a while, but maybe.
Here's hoping. He smiles and kind of like pulls you in like casually close and like has his arms around you and just will talk and drink for the rest of the night. You see that he is not drinking a lot. How much are you drinking, Nyx?
Say her usual a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to not think about the corpse stabbed to a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll insight with advantage for me, Nyx.
That's really bad. Good thing I got +9 to insight. 15.
Nyx, you are currently in the process of drinking a lot. And there is the I think there's always the placebo of when you start drinking where you're like hee hee and you get kind of into the headspace. And then that starts to fade a bit. And you're not feeling much. You know what's going on, but you're like, what is this? Like you're looking at your drink and you're like, it's like drinking water. Like feels like almost nothing.
Did we just bring water upstairs? Are they watering these down since I got back? I've had
I mean,
4.
he kind of like looks over at your drink. Well, I mean, I literally just heard a man throw up downstairs, so I can only assume it's not I can assume there's like some water in it, and don't want to speculate about what else might be in it, but I don't I don't think so.
I've, but I feel fine. I've had.
I guess your tolerance is
I
going up.
haven't had anything since we left.
I'm not an expert. I don't know. I don't
Maybe I should
know.
go ask them. Maybe they gave me just water.
Do you want to go ask the barkeep and see if they just gave you water?
You might
I'm
take
gonna hand
offense
them
to that.
the drink I've been drinking out of. You test it. You
I'll,
try
I'll,
it.
I'll test it. I'm worried it's water. Russ takes your drink and sips from it and like kind of takes a moment and like savors the taste. And he's like, I mean, it tastes as terrible as it always does, I think.
This doesn't make sense. I'll keep trying. Maybe just I don't know. I'll take it back.
Yeah, that's a healthy way to go about it. We'll just keep pushing forward and see what happens.
I guess I could just drink water. If it's the same, if they're just gonna give me water.
I suppose. What if we I have some liquor in my bag. Do you want to take like a shot and just see
I
how
could
that goes?
try. Just see.
All right.
Why not? We're
Uh,
already here.
we're already in the room. We don't even have to go upstairs.
Right. It's right
We don't
there.
even have to worry about it. Um, Russ goes and gets some liquor out of his bag, and the two of you continue as you were. And boy, howdy, it tastes like liquor. And you're like, all right. And you wait to see if you are affected as normal. Uh, Meanwhile, Roshan, you have a moment in the room where you are by yourself. Is there anything before you are joined?
No, I think Roshan is stressed enough by the night's events and the story he just heard at the bar that work is what he needs to calm down. So I think he'll get right to work. And he won't use spell slots. He'll take the ritual option just to, for his own sanity, just to do work.
Okay. And you realize as you begin to pull objects out of the bag of holding and set them in front of you, this is going to take some time. That this moment of identification is going to take a hot minute. Nana, you walk into the room as all the objects are now set in front of Roshan.
Mm.
Is there anything before we get started with the inventory?
Um, uh, didn't know if you might want some refreshment while you were working, but brought some anyway. Would you like some?
Oh, absolutely. I think Roshan took a beer and a water, and both are probably halfway gone by now, and he'll take a second.
Mm.
Yeah, all right. And Nana will kind of like plop down next to him and kind of look over the spread. She didn't get to see any of it last night because she was asleep the whole night. That's a lot of magical items. I mean, I knew sort of just abstractly we'd got a lot, but that's a lot.
I didn't realize we had so many. It is a lot. But I guess whatever we don't need, we can use as gifts or something for political favor. Or, I don't know.
Sure. If all else fails, I suppose we could sell it to somebody who might know its worth. Who knows?
Or tell Ember that we have it and have her assume that it's hers now.
That's very fully plausible. I don't like how we left off with Ember with regards to those awful poisonous mollusks. So
She got them in the end. I think she's happy with us, especially after I don't know, there was kind of a thing with Nyx. They were throwing some sidelong glances that I couldn't fully read.
I'm just not sure. It. See, before we came and met Russ, I might have also been fully ready to believe that. But I don't know. It seems to me like it could vaguely be plausible she was fucking with us.
That, or Nyx is just like a slut, which good for her.
Good for you, babes.
No slut shaming
I
here.
mean,
Only slut praising.
whatever she wants to do, I'm pretty much okay with, so long as we don't die or she doesn't die again.
Russ is great, and maybe his boss is helpful too. The mysterious whoever he is.
Whoever they are. And, like, you know what? It's, I suppose, so long as we're talking Russ and secrets and things, Russ seems like an above-board sort of person. I appreciate the straightforward way that he deals with absolutely everyone. It's kind of a breath of fresh air. Gods only know Ave was never that way. I mean, I sort of thought he was growing up, but, you know, the more we've learned about him since, the less I feel like I could trust those impressions.
Yeah, you're telling me. Since we left town with him, I've found my trust in his truth-telling abilities entirely dwindled, whereas my trust in his insight, his view of the world, also, you know, same, I guess, but...
Yeah, I don't know what to think about. I have to believe he at least actually genuinely had good intentions. I don't know what's
He set
up or
out...
down if not for that, but...
He did what he set out to do, exactly. I don't know if he knew of the consequences that it would have here, but at least he wasn't lying about that.
Yeah. Never really can, I guess, know for certain all the consequences of our actions. I don't know. I don't want to come across like I'm coming at you out of the blue, but I've been turning this over in my head for a while, and you know, between everything that's gone on with Ave and I've spoken with Russ once or twice, and he's brought up a couple of times that the necessity of offloading things that you don't have to carry in order to be able to move forward. And I don't want to burden you in turn, but I'm not really sure what we did at the parapet. Can you appreciate that? I don't understand what happened. I don't know why Fenris Wolf showed up out of your shadow, and I don't know why you were upset after coming back from the baths. And if you don't want to talk with me about it, I understand, and I'm not going to make you, but I'm worried.
They're separate things. Met someone deeply unpleasant, a pink lady who we'll probably see at the party, and
Oh, great. Well, who
um,
all have we met here who won't be at the party, you know?
well, but stay away from her at all costs. Well, what she
Okay.
said made the shadow just angry, unstable, I don't even know, and asked politely, I guess, if they could attack Keld. And
Attack him.
gods, he's so fucking nice. He just says yes. And I think he tried to downplay it, but he's not perfect. Well, Shadow gives him visions. Thankfully, he lets me know. And just thinking through what those visions are, they bear some semblance to the story. Okay, it sounds silly, but less silly when we just fought a shade of Fenris. He saw what could be construed as scenes from the stories of our gods.
Kel
And
did through the shadow?
yeah, I think only the dead ones. And
Huh.
I'm inclined to believe that theory is true after the shadow channeled all of that energy from the drum and destroyed one of the shades within itself.
Hmm.
They haven't been able to talk about it since I haven't asked, but they've been distant, recuperating. And so the consequences are perhaps far reaching, perhaps literally only one sad, angry wolf is gone. I don't know. There's a lot that I don't know.
Well,
But
I suppose if we follow that thought to its logical conclusion, speculating only, of course, but if Fenris Wolf, one of the dead gods from the fall, was incorporated somehow into your shadow, or a memory of it, I guess, could it not then be plausible Idun is in there somewhere, Odin is in there somewhere, Thor, you know, it Golveg, maybe? She is dead. I don't know.
I don't know either. The shadow doesn't know our stories, so I don't know, maybe I should start telling them and see if any of those stories line up, and so we can take stock of who's there. But from what I know, we took care of the biggest thorn in the shadow's side, I think.
The angriest one, probably. Do you think that might have been the one that threatened Fen?
I don't think so. I think that was an angry lady.
Oh.
And I don't know who's got that much of a vengeance other than Freya, but she's still fucking alive, parading as someone else.
I'm trying to remember if Nana was aware of that.
I think we all talked about how Lady Satyr was
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lady
Sorry,
Satyrs.
that was Mac Smooth Brain.
Spoilers.
I feel like Nana would have definitely held on to that little nugget a lot better than I have.
Uh,
Okay, well, no, then that's true, and she'd have been surely the one to lash out at another masculine presence within the party before anyone else. But again, no, not her, unless it's I don't know. The fact that it's, I guess, a shade, a fragment, a memory, a dream?
From what I know, that's the extent of what they are.
Okay.
It's not a link to them, merely some of their psyche trapped,
An echo.
an echo.
Huh. Okay.
But
Well,
maybe the shadow will be more happy to talk without a thorn in its side sometime soon. I hope.
I do hope so. I'm I'm worried for you both. I before that before the incident where that aspect of the shadow hurt Fen, the shadow seemed to be a truly positive element in your life. It seemed to really be a fast ally, and to be uncertain now is the last thing we need going up against the people we are.
I agree. Maybe there's more that they can share now, but
Maybe. I Tell me if this sounds crazy or stupid, but what if we could perhaps I don't know. I don't know if Snotra perhaps may have any recollection of the gods or any perception of what became of them or any echoes of them after the fall, but do you think it'd be worth asking? I managed at least to speak with her at the library, so
um, you're more than welcome to ask. I don't even know if I want to talk to the gods.
I mean, who else but their peers can we ask about the gods or the gods whose memories are now echoing into this entity that you walk with?
I don't have uh, the conviction to reach out myself, but if you do, I am there to help, to support you, uh, to give you the information on what you need to ask.
Well, if nothing else, Snotra, prudent as she is, was certain to emphasize to me that it's important for us to support our friends and to aid one another when we can. And I want to help you. And if there's a better, clearer line forward to doing that than speaking with Snotra, then I'm happy to take it. But if nothing else, she willingly spoke to me, which was the first time any god's done that with me who didn't want absolutely nothing to do with me afterwards, so.
Um, then I I wish you the best of luck with her. I If she doesn't answer, perhaps the answers are buried in her library. Not that I'm itching to get back.
The library itself, I'm a bit hit or miss on. It's not my area, it's not my favored terrain, you know, but at least the patron seemed willing to speak and willing to have dialogue, which at least means something, I think. I hope.
You should get someone to teach you how to commune with her directly, not in so many words, but uh, augury.
Hmm.
Probably a bit more sure than praying, but probably also difficult magically. I don't know how to do it, but
Right.
maybe somebody does.
It's it's worth a look. It's worth talking about. I mean, somebody who overheard me just babbling about it when I was a bit too many cups in, when we came back from the library, suggested that I could try becoming a cleric of hers, and I don't know that there's parts of that idea that do appeal. I'm certain that being the goddess of prudence, she'd appreciate me thinking it over long and hard before I made a jump, but I suppose if nothing else, it would provide a steady line.
And uh, I don't see any downside.
She at
I may
least
not agree.
didn't try and. Ah, go ahead.
I just may not agree with the ethos of uh, all of the library stuff was a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like she's had a positive effect on you since then. So I would only encourage more if you're interested.
Well, I'm trying to act on her advice. I don't think it helped terribly much in our last combat, but I can practice and I can get better. So that's my hope.
And I hope the same.
Is there anything that I can do to help with all these magical accoutrements, or
Um, Another beer
organizing a
in about an
list?
hour.
Ah,
Oh,
I can definitely do that.
maybe. Gosh, he looks over the items. Maybe another one after that.
Mm, we could be at this a while, but I'm happy to sit with you.
Do like
I would.
Okay. Uh, the two of you get ready to identify a mountain of magic items and keep a steady flow of drink going. Before we go to break, I am going to give you the items. And then after that, we'll jump into it because it seems weird to go to break, come back and be like, and here's the items. Boo boo.
Pew, pew, pew.
So, Roshan, you make your way through in no particular order except the order I'm giving it to you in. Uh,
Mm, it's
you
an
pick
order.
up the two arrows that Fen had acquired and begin identifying them. They are arrows of slaying. They deal more damage to a set type of being. The being type is already set. One of them is humanoid, one of them is celestial. So that's what the arrows do. Two arrows of slaying, one for humanoid, one for celestial. Uh, you pick up this dented horn and kind of look it over with this like leather strap on it. And this is a horn of blasting. It can cause thunder damage and deafen people and has the possibility of breaking up while using it.
Oh boy.
And you feel like that number might be slightly higher based on the fact that it looks a little damaged. So risky, but you know, still fun. Um,
Hmm.
you open that box that Fen gave you and pull out the pieces of paper. You have two paper birds. These letters, you write down who you are sending it to, and they fly off like little birds and go directly to that person. So you have two of those.
Oh, so like that one letter that we got from the one guy in the one
Yeah.
place, but it can go to anybody and not just him. That's
Yes, this
nice.
one can go anywhere as long as you, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to say a name is necessary, and I don't know if I'm accepting nicknames or descriptions. We'll see when we get there. Uh, um, inside that box, there's also a beautiful feather quill, and this is a quill of writing. I don't think that's what it's called, Jillian, but
Hmm.
now that I look at that name, that doesn't seem right.
Hmm.
Oh, I think it's a quill of accurate writing or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
I think I just didn't add a word. This
Hmm.
quill does not require ink, and it can copy from non-magical sources for an hour, and also can take dictation and write while one dictates.
Oh, that's
Um,
convenient.
you hesitantly pick up the ring with the X on it that Nyx had been
Mm.
wearing. This is a
Mm.
band of loyalty. If, while attuned to this ring, you drop to 0 hit points, you die instantly. There are no death saves. This is a ring usually for like if you are going on a suicide mission or you're a spy and you don't want to get caught.
That's your
This
cyanide
is,
tooth.
yeah, it's a cyanide capsule in the form of a ring.
Whew, buddy.
Inside that box as well, you find 3 guild signets. Um, each one of them has 3 charges of a spell on them. One of them has compelled duel. The other one has heroism, and the other one has command. So those are the fun little things you found while in the parapet. You now move on to Ing's things. Uh,
Nice
I
rhyme
love how
there.
that rhymed. That was
Ing's
super good.
things.
Ings things.
Um, so
Inguses
you
thinguses.
I'm gonna take away that inspiration I gave you because you
I'm
were nice to me when a
sorry.
mosquito was attacking me. Uh,
I'm sorry.
uh, there were a few boxes that you kind of now take the time to open and look through. You open a sturdy sort of case around this size. Inside of it, it looks like a set of tiny little glasses. These are eyes of minute seeing. They give you advantage on investigation checks with things that are within 1 foot of you. So if you are
Huh.
really, really in something real close, you get advantage on that investigation check. Um,
Neat.
you open a smaller box. It almost looks like a ring box, but inside it is this uh, pearl that is covered in runic script. It is just fully covered. This is a pearl of power. Gives you the ability to regain a spell slot. Uh, you continue through. There is the +1 whip. There is the +2 heavy crossbow that is currently broken, unusable, but can be fixed. There is armor of fire resistance, scale mail. You make your way to the staff and kind of check it over because you were worried that he had damaged it before he died. But it was actually an attachment at the top, spell components placed together a bunch of gems that he could use in one go quickly. But the staff itself seems to still be in fine condition. This is a staff of defense, has the ability to cast things like shield and mage armor. Um, and you pull out a large tome, a heavy tome that has a little bookmark in it. It seems Ing was trying to get through it, never going to finish. This is a tome of clever thought. Within a certain amount of time, if you are able to finish the book, like spending hours upon hours in a certain amount of time, you can get a boost to your intelligence score. And then you pick up the final magical item. No, you cannot. It takes longer than that. It takes a
Damn.
hot minute. It
Oh.
is, it's beefy.
a
You
few
pick up
nights.
the ring that Ing had been wearing, and now you take a closer look at it. The sort of strange organic purple shape on top that kind of came across as flowery almost comes more across like a brain, just like almost like a cloud shape on top.
Hmm.
This is a ring of mind shielding. Uh,
Oh.
Prevents people from actively talking to you in your mind. It does not stop, spells from affecting you and controlling you. But if somebody is trying to send you messages, you actually now have the ability to hang up. Uh, this is
Huh.
a fancy hang up device. And
Interesting.
the you got a bunch of things out of Ing's bag, but the non-magical things are a not as drenched as it was before, but definitely damaged letter and a necklace that has a symbol of a woman on it who her body looks like a mountain range. And you begin the process of slowly identifying each and every one of these objects. And with that, we are going to take our 10-minute break. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. Go get a snack and a drink, and we will see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Tim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 140 of On the Backs of Gods. I'm your DM, Jillian. We just took our 10-minute break. The party is currently decompressing to the best of their ability at the tavern. Some people taking the time to talk and drink. Some people taking the time to identify the mountain of magical items they acquired, and then figure out what to do with those at some point. Uh, some of them casual, some of them maybe interesting, some useful, unclear. Depends on what you're looking for. Just a way to get some money really fast, maybe. Uh, but currently, everybody is going about their business for the night. Pretty split up in regards to the team. Uh, Fen, you get yourself cleaned up and presentable. What are we doing?
First, he's gonna knock on Roshan's door.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably like give a polite knock, but then like walk in regardless. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, just I'm. Oh, hello, Nana. Um, I'm gonna go up to the Song and Siren. Try to just have some drinks and listen to the music. Does anyone want to come with me?
Roshan looks over at the pile of magical items that are still as yet undone and says, maybe tomorrow, and gets out 10 platinum
Mm.
and gives it to you to go make some friends, go spend some money.
Yeah, buy Corrine a nice drink or something.
All right. I, you know what? I'm trying to get the hang of this. This seems like a lot of money. Is that a lot of money? I shouldn't spend this all in one place. It's the sort of thing my mother would have said.
You are welcome to spend it in one place, but just one of those will probably buy a round of fancy drinks for the entire bar.
Yeah, it is quite a
All
lot
right.
of money.
All right. I'll try my best to use discretion. And Nana, do you want to come with me? Or are you staying with Roshan? Or
I'm probably gonna stay in a little bit. I'm a little concerned about the hat coming off and then making a scene in the really nice fancy bar. So
all right. I'm still gonna go.
I think you should, and no judgment whatsoever. Sorry, I can't be your wingman, but
No, it's fine.
you don't
I
need
don't.
one.
I I don't feel like I do. I just want to be my friends. That's all.
Of
Um,
course.
I'm not gonna bother Nix either, but maybe I'll see if Keld wants to go on the way out. Um,
Maybe.
uh, all right, thank you, Roshan, and I'll see you in the morning. I'll be back. I'll make my way back.
And
Tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight, we've got things to do tomorrow. We got lots of things to do tomorrow. Why would I?
Just as long as you're back by tomorrow morning, I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course.
Yeah.
Got no speed. Just listen to some music and have a few drinks. I'll be responsible. I promise.
I know
Did you
you
bring a
will, Fen.
sheepskin?
The door closes and Fen makes his way down the stairs. Uh, Fen, you get down, and at this point, time's a little warbly. You guys have probably gotten through identifying 2 objects
Oh boy.
at this point. Um, Fen, you make your way down. Keld is currently sitting at the bar talking to the woman who introduced herself as Thor.
Keld, do you want to come with me? I'm gonna go listen to some music up at the Song and Siren. Do you want to come with me?
Honestly, I don't know if I have it in me.
I understand. Um, no, it's fine. I'll be back. Be safe. Just take care. If
You too.
if you want to reach me, Roshan's always up. Just have him send a message or something like that.
I will do
And
that.
Fenn's gonna walk out the door, and he can't help but look at the corpse,
Mhm.
and he's gonna like turn and walk back in, and walk back up to Keld and be like, that's not right. Somebody should burn that.
Oh, don't worry, we're burning it. Don't you worry. Scout's honor.
I was gonna suggest that.
Keld, would you like to go burn a body with me?
Yes.
Ooh, first date material.
Oh, hell
Uh,
yeah!
Thank
Light a
you for the
flame, baby.
suggestion. Have fun at your fancy bar.
All right, yes, nice meeting you. And Fenn just leaves, just like
Mhm.
did not like that response of all things. Like it was talking to Keld, not that person, and that
He
person
was
was like, "Hey,
right
you
next to
you want to
Keld.
go?" No, it doesn't matter. I was talking to Keld, and that's just Fenn's response. Is like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
no.
cool,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know you.
nice to
that
meet you."
thing that person next to you did, that should be burned. And she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
God."
yeah,
She took it
So
as a good
you
suggestion. She's doing what you
you make your
wanted.
way out. You're like, okay,
yeah.
and you scatter. Um, she kind of watches you go and then looks at Keld. You kind of get 3 responses to the stuff you do. That's definitely one of them.
Mhm.
Um, sorry if this is a relationship killer, a friendship killer for you and I. Uh, I feel no remorse or sorrow defiling and displaying the corpse of a monster. I think that should be on the table.
I'm more concerned about what happens later. So
Oh, I didn't let it touch the ground. We kept it up with kind of like when you're at a musical event and you just kind of keep it up above you like that.
can we
Uh
make like a funeral procession?
this guy doesn't deserve a fucking funeral. Let's go just yeet him into some trash. And she she gets up. Ladies, what do you want, or do you want to come? The other women are now very deep in their cups and like making eyes around the room like we've come here for a particular reason. Those they made that apparent. And you can see Gressa, the woman with the head and legs of a bull, uh looks across the room and is like, "Nah, just pick me something special. I think I found me the jackpot." And like stands up and you kind of follow her line of sight and you see Randall, the halfling man, sitting across the room, like staring at like he's looking at a goddess. Like yeah. And when she approaches, by golly, the the widening of his eyes, and it seems Gressa is indisposed for the evening, and Randall may no longer exist tomorrow. Unclear. Can't speak for
His
them.
hips certainly will not.
The dude's gonna need a nap. Um, you can see Maggie, who stops and thinks a second, and she kind of just goes like this, and Thor nods. All right, let's burn this bitch, and begins to proceed her way out of the tavern.
Keld's following.
Oh, yeah. I love giving people the good death, and by the good death, I mean burning their corpses.
Indeed.
And both of you walk out a bit after Fen does, and you watch as she gets outside, and she kind of like jumps up and like wraps a hand around his ankle and just starts yanking on it and waiting for the spear to kind of break through the ropes on the hands, and the body just ragdolls onto the ground. Oops. And just lifts it up.
5-second rule.
That's fine. It's only been a couple seconds. All right, let's find a good spot. And begins to to walk with this corpse. And the two of you begin your adventure to find a nice spot to burn a terrible person. Um, uh, you make your way over. Fen, it is a strange mixture of emotions as you make your way through the night. It is late. And your brain's like, I hope there's a night performance, because when you spoke to the barkeep, it seemed kind of warbly on her schedule. It seemed to be whenever she wants to. And there's kind of it's that butterflies in the stomach sensation, a tight throat, but just a bit of strain in the cheeks as you realize you're smiling the whole walk there. Just a big smile on your face as you make your way through town. Um, Not even really feeling the cold. And eventually you arrive at the Song and Siren, a beautiful inn and tavern with no bodies displayed atop the door. And you're like, fingers crossed, no more corpses. Uh, and you make your way inside.
Just
Hmm.
I was giving little bugs to Jenny the whole way, like, and
Hmm.
telling her she was a good girl. Like, I'm surprised she's still around at this point. Like
Yeah.
that she didn't fuck off somewhere in the forest. Like, didn't sign up for this and leave. Like, she's still here. So,
Yeah.
like, just telling Jenny, good girl, like giving her little head pats and stuff.
Yeah. The fact that you fell from 500 feet and she flew up there and was like, I guess, and then flew down and followed you. Uh, and
Not
she
into the
seems
ground,
very,
but after you.
yeah. No, she just followed. She took
Hmm.
no
Well, I
damage.
didn't make it to the ground either, right?
Neither of
Yeah,
us made
that's
it to the
true.
ground.
No.
I broke my spine on the branches, thank you. Uh, uh, you guys are fine. Look at you guys walking around. But Jenny seems very happy for attention and food, and is content as you make your way into the Song and Siren, and are immediately hit with the same smells of uh, burning rosemary and drink and the sound of harp music. Uh, going and taking a nice seat up to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Ben's gonna try and find himself a place. He's gonna stop by the bar and buy a drink. The smoked rosemary thing,
Hmm.
and probably order a second one for the performer. To have sent to her at her leisure, and find a place not as deep in the shadows as normal to watch
Hmm.
from, uh, and just kind of do his best to settle into whatever the comfiest looking chair is, uh, and just enjoy the performance if that's possible.
Yeah. You order two roiling whiskeys and get comfortable and take a spot to listen to some music. And Corrine is performing sitting at this large harp, wearing a similar but not the same. It seems she has a particular style of dress she prefers. A red dress with large slits and a low plunging neckline, but still wearing pearls. Has a collar of pearls on, but they continue down over her shoulders and around her wrists, almost like very dainty sleeves of pearls as she performs. You take notice that the place is more crowded than it has been so far, but it is not your focus. Uh, you're getting closer to the party. You can only assume more people are in town, but you don't care about any of those people. You've been told those people suck, and Not a lot of people in town proving that incorrect. Uh, Only one, maybe two. Uh,
Probably would have
mhm.
assumed that most people suck anyways,
Yeah,
regardless.
that's just my assumption in general.
Fen, not a people person.
Yeah, most of them unpleasant. But it takes a few seconds. Time seems to warble as the music just fills the space and starts to kind of dampen the sound of people talking and the clinking of glass around you. And her eyes glance up and over in your direction, and you make eye contact, and you watch as your face is mirrored as she smiles as well. And you feel like she is playing in this moment for you. The music seems to change ever so subtly, and it seems just pointed. Is it? You don't know, but it feels that way. And mhm,
I was just say also, I think that Fen gave his best effort to cleaning up,
yeah.
but he's still probably got some bruises.
Mhm.
And yeah, he kind of rushed out the door. Like he tried to clean up, but like he probably still looks a bit like shit because
Mhm.
he very nearly died, and so did all of his friends. Some of them more than others. So like,
Mhm.
he, he probably looks a little beat up right now. Like
Okay. Uh Valid and probably very very true. Uh the song sort of builds in tempo and sound and reverberating around the room and then just comes to an abrupt end. And everybody begins to do their gentle claps as Corinne stands up and gives a gentle bow, and she sort of pushes her blonde hair back behind her and smiles, white teeth behind very vibrant red lipstick. And she immediately, after her bow, begins walking directly towards you, Finn. She begins making her way forward, clearing the distance with the gentle click of high heels as she moves towards you and stops in front of you, like hands right at the edge of the arms of the chair, and stops and almost has like a shocked look on her face. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to immediately walk over and just invade your personal space. I was just so compelled to kiss you, and that's I'm so sorry.
it's no problem. I came here hoping for a chance to see you, and he'll uh, as soon as she started walking in a general direction, he would have stood up out of
Mhm.
his seat, and uh, he's
He is
rising from a bow,
right.
right,
Yeah.
rising from
He
a
is
bow
right at
now.
you.
Uh, um, I didn't mean to interrupt your performance. It was lovely. I came to hear you play, or maybe to hear to talk with you, and it just it's good to see you again. I bought this for you, and just slide the drink across the table. Um, it's the same drink we drank last time. I hope it's the one you prefer. If there's something else, I'm sure I can get it.
I think this is perfect, and if I have a drink, I should sit down and talk, I think. And she sits down, next to the chair that you have,
He'll scramble to
chosen.
pull her chair out for her.
You quickly make your way around, and she sees what you're doing and, like, halts a moment and lets you, perform this act of chivalry and then sits, just a big smile, a bit of blush to the cheek. "Are you okay? You were gone for a few days. I was a little worried your friend wasn't super informative in his message."
Yeah, we're all okay.
Mm,
It was a difficult few days. So we traveled a long way. One of my friends, lost an arm, his
Oh,
hand. Uh, he's blue now.
oh,
Another friend has got a terrible thing on her face, and then
oh
another
my.
one with a something on her face, and then now on her
Oh,
arm, and
oh.
the other one it just has shadow dogs. I guess I don't know.
Mm.
I'm sorry. That's enough about me.
No, no, no.
That's
Fen, I want you to tell me everything that happened. Do you tell her everything that happened?
uh probably yeah. I'd probably give her a walkthrough
Mhm.
of the events, and whenever he thinks he's being annoying by like going into backstory, like, oh, you don't know who Ing is, or Ing's a prick.
I
He's not a
see.
prick anymore. Now he's dead.
Oh.
And then we
Mm.
were back in the forest, and there was a spider made of red gemstones, and there was a frog with human skin, and it was super annoying. And
Mm.
I lost my patience, and I kicked it, and there was a line of giant ants with. I sound crazy right now. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
I
Let me get us another drink. I
of course.
This is my first drink of the night. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. It's just. I.
Uh,
It's not the alcohol talking. It's been a few days. That's all.
it
It's been
sounds
a hell
like
of.
it has been.
How have you been? I'm sorry.
Oh, I my story wouldn't be as exciting. I've been playing. I've been seeing some old friends as people are showing up for the party. Tell me about your family.
I hate to just talk about myself the whole time. I genuinely would just love to sit here and listen to you talk, or listen to you play, or whatever. My family. I've got some sisters. I've got a father. My mother went on to see the waterfall. Um,
Oh,
that was recent, only a few months ago. I wasn't there when she left. Um, I've been gone for about twice that long, I think. Just traveling with some friends, a couple of very close friends, and a couple of newer ones who joined us along the way. Again, hate to talk about me.
it's
It's,
I just love hearing you talk. Do you have any grandparents?
my grandparents are they my grandparents are alive. Elves, but live a long time, as you're aware. Um, uh, um, I rarely met. One of my sisters left before I was born, and uh, another left shortly after. She comes back around every so often to our village. She's she travels. The life of being in a village was not for her the same way it's not for me.
Mm.
A lot of expectations from the social hierarchy. Uh, it's all very, very boring politics. I'm
Politics
sorry.
are certainly draining. I have to agree on that one. So I try to stick to the stage as much as I can, though the more people drink, the more they do love to talk about it. So I'm at least a little informed about what everyone's up to. Sorry if I'm coming across as so nosy. I love hearing people's stories.
I do too. I share a lot of stories the with the people that are closest to me, so we don't have very
Mm.
many stories that are novel to any of us because we mostly live through them. Uh, I'm, I'm sorry, it's not your job to entertain me. Entertain me. It may be your job to entertain people, but it's not your job to entertain me. But I was just kind of hoping to know more about you or to just
Mm.
observe you. I've seen a lot of things, and very few of them are as beautiful and breathtaking as you.
Well, let me give you something to observe then. And she stands up and places her drink back down on the table and makes her way back up to the harp and is going to continue to play and is going to start up a new song. And you see each time that she begins to play, the sound in the space diminishes a bit, as if people are taking it into account that Corrine is playing. We have to be more quiet. And they react in kind. And she is stunning. And she is a talented musician. And you can only hope for more moments like this as she smiles at you from the stage. Meanwhile, Keld's going to burn a body. Keld,
Let's
let's
burn this
burn this.
body.
Let's burn this body. Um, uh, Thor leads the way, kind of just carrying this naked corpse with her, sort of like looking around. Trash pile, trash pile, trash pile. Yeah, that'll do. And finds just sort of a place where people have been discarding uh, trash and debris and what have you. A bit of dirty snow in this area, and she just kind of off the shoulder, like flumps the body down like a sack of potatoes.
Mm.
All right. Just so you know, and she kind of like takes her, puts her arms up and kind of like shakes her hands forward really hard, just one hard push forward. And you watch these heavy gauntlets kind of slip forward and over the knuckles. So they kind of slip into place when she moves her arms.
Hmm.
And you can see that these are intricate and heavy looking. These look like solid, heavy gauntlets. And they have slits and notches in them of many shapes, just covered in these notches. And she's like, I'm going to show off a little bit. Is that okay?
Please.
Uh, you watch as she kind of like moves the gauntlets around and kind of looks them over. And you watch as her fingers sort of slip into spots right below where the metal is over her fingers. And you watch when she bends her fingers, bits of it looks like sharp metal stick out of the different slots, depending on which finger is moved. And you watch as she pulls down two fingers at the side, and two oddly shaped pieces of metal sort of jut out ever so slightly from the front of the gauntlet. And she brings her hands down and slams them against the thighs that are exposed from the slitted dress. And you watch as two runes are imprinted into the skin. And as she pulls the gauntlets back, the crackle of lightning follows it behind. And she kind of like smashes the gauntlets together, and lightning sparks between it. And she just brings it down and punches hard into the body, and this lightning just sinks into it, and you watch as the body begins to just start falling away, starting to burn apart and blacken. uh, and you can watch just like this blood that is running down the sides of her thighs. The way it moves is almost as if it is mimicking the lightning. Does not just fall down, it seems to also be have a bit of static in it. And she sort of stops halfway. Sorry, this part's gonna be gross. And you watch now that the body has been destroyed in a sense, not fully destroyed, but
Mm.
definitely weakened. The flesh turned papery.
Ugh.
It's You watch as she breaks the hands off of the body and reaches in and kind of like looks at it and then pops off the like part of the rib cage, sets it to the side, and then reaches down and just cracks the head right off of the neck and places it in a small side pile. I'm just want to keep you informed. We're gonna wear his fucking body at the party. I'm gonna take his skull. I'm gonna make it into a little hat.
I was going to ask what those were for.
Yeah, at this party, everyone's like, "Ooh, what are you wearing?" And if you're wearing something like the boogeyman's head, people are
will
gonna
be
ask
asking,
about it.
"Who are you wearing?"
Yeah, who you wear? The boogeyman.
Oh, they're definitely gonna ask.
That's that's the point. You're going to this party and kind of like smashes the gauntlets together again and begins to like rub, and the lightning begins to pick up again and just brings another fist down, and this body just getting destroyed in front of you. Just kind of
I'm
looking at
trying to
you.
find my way in.
Oh,
Reaching.
you're just you're just trying to get in. I can't say shit. My last year was my first time.
How'd you manage another boogeyman?
Um, we have been, and she kind of like leans back, and it's just, it is a pile of charred bones in front of you. Uh, we've been chasing this boogeyman for a hot minute. This has been our fixation. For some of us, this was more important than others, but if I can get rid of one nasty thing, I'm gonna do it. Especially for the girls.
You did it.
And I am sure you will deal with your demons just as easily. Maybe not as horrifically, but I'm not going to make that promise for you.
I can only hope.
Fingers crossed. There's something about sometimes you forget they're people.
Yeah. It can be easy to forget that, given everything they do.
You want to think people won't behave that way. And so it's easy to think of them as something else. I mean, this guy was something else. Like I'm not gonna be like he was a person. I'm sure he was a person at some point. Um,
Long time ago, maybe.
long time ago. But some of the rest of them were people. And that's a hard one to deal with, but and she kind of presents the gauntlets. But I'm still worthy. So,
Hmm. Those are really something.
yeah, uh probably illegal, but it's mine. These are made from the hammer from Mjolnir, piece of the bridge.
Oh,
And nobody else can pick it up, only me.
wow.
I mean, you're welcome to try. You might be worthy. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. She kind of like leans over and starts kind of like stomping the bones a little bit to make them look less like bones. So like if a person
Mhm.
walked by and saw this pile, they wouldn't be like, "That's a body."
A hump.
You guys both start like kind of stomping on the ashes and like kicking snow up to try and make it look more presentable and not horrific if a child just came skipping by the
Yeah.
next morning and was like, "What the shit? Just going to school." Uh, but you
Hey,
two
kids,
make
want to
it
see
more
a dead body?
presentable. You guys want to see just a charred skeleton, for fun? Um, but she kind of looks at the ashes for a moment has anybody ever really thanked you for what you've done, for what you are actively losing each time you put somebody in the dirt, for what you're doing for them, even though most of them don't even know?
I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that, honestly.
Mm.
It's been more a matter of just doing it. That makes sense.
No, that 100% makes sense.
What about you? You said you don't get a lot of thanks, at least authentically.
Yeah, no, not a lot of authentic thanks. People in towns and communities, they always ask you to do something, you know, deal with this problem, help us here, do this. And you do. And, sometimes they give you your money or your handshake or whatever they're going to give you for doing this good deed. And then that's when they realize how messy that good deed was, that they realize what it meant for me to do that. And they don't really want to say thank you anymore, but there's an obligation.
Mm.
People want to be as far away from the mess as they can.
I think I know what you mean.
But some people actively deal with the mess because they need to. Somebody has to, or this thing is just walking around kidnapping people, eating souls. And now he's not.
And that's thanks to you. And all the time and effort and sacrifices you all three made. That should be
Thank you, Keller.
celebrated.
I agree, it should be celebrated, and that's why I jump up on the tables and I start big old cheers, and sometimes you just have to applaud yourself if nobody will. I mean, you don't seem like the jumping on the table type, but if you want to go back to the inn, I can thank you appropriately.
I'd like that.
All right. uh, she takes one more look at the pile of ash, and then sort of kind of wipes at the blood on her thighs, and starts walking forward towards the inn. I think we can figure out how to thank each other appropriately, mutually. And both of you make your way back. Um, Meanwhile, just hopping around to everybody enjoying their night casually. Nix, you've had some liquor. It's warm in your stomach, and you're like, cool.
Mm.
That's all. You're not feeling anything.
This is super great. Really.
Is it working?
I don't think not even a little bit.
Huh. Well, that's gonna certainly make your stays at inns a lot cheaper, I guess. Or maybe you just like inhaled some spores or something, or because of,
That's
I
a
don't know.
constant thing though. They
That's
don't
true.
I don't think it's I don't know. That's weird. It
Maybe you
was
just need
already
rest.
cheaper. You were already paying for everything.
It's true. I have been paying for. Well, the thing is, I'm not really paying for anything. As Thor so politely put it, that my daddy is paying for everything. Um, Sindri donates a large sum to the Hard Fiddle every year, enough to pay for the drinks and also be a nice lump sum for housing the ruckus.
I guess I'll stick with what? I'll find something new, I guess.
Plenty of drinks out there.
Yeah,
Juices,
juices.
water. I'm
think
so
they'll let
sorry,
me-
Nix. This seems devastating.
I mean, you said like one of the only good parts about this party for you was the drinking, and so I'm I'm a little concerned.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't drink too much because I'm technically on the job. I do have a couple drinks because, that's the only way I feel like I could get through it at the time. But if you're not drinking, I won't drink. We'll both not drink.
Okay, sure. We'll find something else.
Do you think you could do like snuff though, or like
We could try.
I certainly can try. There's there
See
is
if it works.
we'll give it a go. There's certainly choices at the party if that is your thing. I usually don't partake too heavily because that can really mess with the focus. But you know, you're not going to be fighting anyone, so you should just have a good time.
I would hope I'm not fighting anyone.
Yeah. And if
No, if
anyone
any-
tries to fight you, I'll fight him. I'll kill him. Well, I don't kill anybody at these parties. I usually am able to convince people to step down from to the death,
I'm pretty sure I can handle myself, but you're welcome to fight them.
We'll see. If I've already had a fight that day, then I can't fight, and then you can fight. We'll figure it out.
It'd be an interesting sight. Someone fighting in a dress.
Ooh. Does the bone snake wear the dress also?
I didn't get the dress made to fit a bone snake.
Oh,
So
that's valid that the dress doesn't change sizes to
Yeah.
fit the animals. No, that makes sense.
I didn't pay
Um,
that for that kind of thing to happen.
I wonder how much that enchantment would cost. It probably wouldn't be that expensive.
We could go ask.
We could definitely ask to just have an outfit that changes with your wild shapes. I think that sounds like a deal. We'll ask around, see if it is. I recently got a large sum of money back, so so I'm available to spend.
I can't say I have much left after the first round of that dress, but sure.
Yeah. We'll see what's going on. We'll make plans for tomorrow. We'll do everything we need to do. We'll get everything settled.
Probably should talk to them tomorrow about this.
I am always an advocate for all cards on the table. And if you want me there, I can be there, or I can let you guys have your little team meetup.
We'll see. Depends on when they're all here. I don't even know if they're all here.
That's true. We're never going to see poor Keld again. He was still down there after everyone went back upstairs. He's done for. He's a dead man.
Hips are gonna be dust.
This man, dusty.
He'll be okay.
Sure, I'm sure he can handle himself. He can. Yeah, he's fine.
I mean, after the past few days, a tavern's fine. He'll be okay. I hope.
We're all gonna be good. Kid.
That is definitely somebody getting some hips dusted.
I think it's just some people playing outside, but I'm not.
I don't know, man. We can't know. We can't see them.
You're muted, Katie.
They're running by screaming nonstop. I don't know
Oh, no.
why. It's been constant.
Shut up!
You know how the youths are,
Get off
having
my
a good
lawn!
time and enjoying themselves outside.
How
in nature.
dare
How-
they?
How
Enjoying their
Get on
summer.
TikTok. Go inside.
Ooh, yeah.
Stop
Wow.
enjoying the
Ruin your
Just
eyes.
take-
Stop ruining
Get
my life.
inside.
Um,
Stop touching grass.
yeah.
Well, it's mostly cement. Calm down.
Yeah.
Aw.
There's no grass here.
Oh.
Um,
Go skin some knees.
Nix, is there anything else that you need to do tonight?
No, I don't think she's gonna go bother anybody. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna stay in the room
Okay.
pondering this weird thing with alcohol for a little bit
Nix
Mhm.
isn't
longer.
a bother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nix ponders her new relationship with her most recent way to have a bit of escapism and, and then pushes that to the side to deal directly with her emotions. And spends the rest of the night with Russ, who hasn't touched anything else to drink after you guys have figured out that it's just not doing anything for you. So he's like, well, that'd be weird if I kept drinking. So he stopped. Over to the other room across the way. Is there anything else from Nana and Roshan?
I think the only thing left is to read Ing's most personal thoughts in the form of a letter.
Mm.
Let's see what was going on in this asshole's head. Is it fathomable? Is it salvageable?
Good question.
That is the thing. This thing was soaked. It is non-magical, so it
Mhm.
was soaked by
Mm.
potions after the fall.
Hmm.
One of you is welcome to give me a sleight of hand to try and open this letter to the best of your ability without mangling it.
Whew, okay, alright. Dexterousness. I'm not
What
the
do you have?
best.
I've got a 4.
I mean, I have a +3. I think you'd probably be the better of the two.
All right, I will
shot.
guide myself.
Yeah, and do you maybe want a little extra finesse? I've got spell slots. We haven't been anywhere today.
I think if you just help me with the help action, it's only the one
You
roll
all put
after
your
all.
grubby mitts uh, on this
Yeah.
very fragile letter. I'll give you
Yeah.
advantage. I'm polite.
Sweet.
I like Nana can be like spotting him, like kind of looking from the other side where he can't see. Like, oh, careful, there's a tear there.
That's a nat 20 for 26.
Ooh.
Oh, buddy, yes.
You pull out the letter, boom, and you just open it.
Oh, Whoa,
Open
that
letter.
was impressive.
You are presented with this letter, and it starts kind of formal and devolves into fragment sentences and scratched out spots and just the makings of a letter that was never sent and may never be sent now.
I
The
would
letter
almost say
says,
tragic, but I really didn't like him.
it starts out beautiful script. The man, if nothing, at least has a beautiful, beautiful handwriting. You look it over, and it takes a second to be like, okay, here's the best angle for what we have. Dear Sonny, it's hard to find the words. I couldn't tell you. You deserve the truth. If they won't tell you, I will. And that's when it devolves into these scratched out sentences
Oh.
that are even more difficult to read because of the liquid that came in contact. They are
Man.
unreadable. And ends at the end just kind of sloppily written. Ing, you are a coward. Same
Oh.
handwriting,
Ooh.
but that is the last thing written on the page.
Um, can I also confirm that the necklace is of Yord?
It is.
Yeah, great. I Roshan will tell Nana, I don't think anyone's lives would be improved by either of these things. Do you mind if I throw them in the fire?
I mean, I can't imagine what good it would do for us to try and send this to anyone, the intended receiver or not. It would only be petty, and petty isn't going to save lives. Petty isn't going to stop this cult, so. No, I think that's fine. Let the dead man's thoughts die with him.
Good. And this necklace of Yord as well. We don't need more end of the world worshippers.
I mean, for all the good friendship with Dagwood's done us, at least she hasn't actively tried ending the world, so.
Not that we know. Maybe she's like sleeping with Bosch or something. It's probably why he can't walk anymore.
That's kind of hilarious, but I really don't want to imagine it, so thanks, I hate it. Oh, yeah, alright, yeah, no, we don't need any further end of the world worshippers, as you say. I'm not familiar much with Yord beyond just the bare bones. Do you know much at all about what could have motivated her to support this cult beyond just the obvious?
Well, she's, I think, technically the goddess of a barren earth, or at least one without people.
Aha.
I don't I don't know if he was on that train before he met Bosch, but I'm sure
It
he and
dovetailed
Bosch got
nicely.
along swell.
Yeah, it certainly does complement his personal mission. If Bosch isn't an advocate himself for Yord, I'll be rather surprised, but maybe he fancies himself a bit better qualified. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he probably thinks he's the next gonna fill someone's seat or something.
Oh, lovely. Uh, okay. Yeah, nah. Best to put that in the fire as well, I'd say. There's nothing to it, is there? There's no, I don't know,
No
rune
enchantments,
inscription. No.
just
Okay.
a carving.
Okay. If that's all it is, then I think there's no harm in letting it go the way of its bearer.
You mean I should open a portal above forest and just let it fall?
I more meant the fire, but if you
Oh
have
yeah,
a.
we did do that, didn't we? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to put anything else in that forest than we can possibly help anymore. I don't think. Do you? I don't think we need to give it ideas.
That's
It tried
fair.
giving us a basket.
Maybe it was a gift basket.
That was a pick mimic basket, and I will die upon that hill.
That's fair. That's totally fair. But I guess we'll
I
never
don't
know.
trust it. No,
It could have
and
been just a
I don't
basket of
need to.
cookies.
If it was a basket of cookies, may whatever horrible toothy horror comes across it, enjoy them thoroughly.
They all seem to be avoiding it. Well, I guess we'll never know.
And I think I can sleep soundly knowing that.
You get some rest, Nana.
Well, I don't know. Should we look in on Nyx, do you think, or should we just leave her be?
I'll send her a message. Best not to interrupt her.
Okay.
And he'll point over toward. I think he'll point toward Russ's room because he doesn't think she's at the bar anymore, and
Yeah,
sends her
it's like
a short. Hey, Nyx. Just checking in. I've identified the things. It's getting late. Do you need anything?
Hold on. We'll run over there. I'll be right there.
hell yeah.
Okay, goodbye. Nyx makes her way.
Oh my god. No explanation, just looks up. I'll be right there.
So I'll be right back.
Sure.
I'm still when
Nyx
you need me.
makes her way
This is-
over to the group.
This is replying exactly how my mother, a boomer, replies to a text message. I'm just gonna call you. Okay.
Oh my god. That's funny. That's
I'm just gonna
great.
say it with my words. I'm not figuring
Yeah.
this out. This
100%.
fancy way.
It's just gonna be there.
That's fair.
Yeah, and
It's
I mean,
like a
we're in
door
the same
down.
building. Yeah, okay.
With a signature line from Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't know who was
Yeah.
replying.
Yeah.
Nyx Nyx makes her way into the space, and now the three of you are together.
So I can't get affected by alcohol anymore, apparently. And I was wondering if you do like that thing where you identify. You tried to do it before on me, and I was wondering if you could see about this weird alcohol thing.
Yeah. What's one more?
It's just the ambiance of downstairs is what I'm kind of going with, is that it's just the people in the tavern just yelling.
Yeah.
The
No, that makes
madness
sense.
of the prospect of never being able to be
You're
drunk
welcome.
again.
Yeah. That's is it I know that there were a lot of things that
couldn't
just
tell you.
happened whenever we cast spells, or
Could be a curse. We'll put your hand in my book, and he opens to a blank page and slams it on her hand.
No.
No. Opens to a blank page where she can put her hand. He will take his new fancy quill and
Ooh.
not let it go on its own yet, but he will trace her hand and start casting Identify to see if that gets any clues.
All right. You
He'll
begin
do the short
casting.
version.
Yeah, you use the spell slot to more quickly cast Identify. And you are greeted with something that happened last time, is that the pen becomes very difficult to control and seems to fight against the spell, because she is still under the effect of the thing you tried to test last time, which would not let itself
Yeah.
be tested. So go ahead and roll me your spell casting modifier, and we're going to see if we can get this info out of the scribbles of this curse being in the way of everything else.
That's a 16.
Okay. You kind of have to like lean in and focus. You even like take your other hand and try to steady yourself as you just watch this pen aggressively just try to rip across the pages. Nyx, you watched it do this last time. Yeah, I guess it has to be. You are able to pick up on the vague idea that Nyx is under the effects of some sort of resistance. and this resistance seems to be related specifically to intoxication.
Well, that presents a kind of strange workaround. It's not a curse because I think your body thinks it's a good thing to be resistant to the effects of alcohol. So I don't know.
Oh.
You could,
Just because.
It's a poison, technically. You get intoxicated, you know?
I mean, it
Cool.
sounds like
Oh.
some of the wild magic. Probably. You could drink before that, right?
Well, the last time we had anything was when we were here, so yes.
Okay.
It's a new problem.
You could try removing it like a curse, but I'm not going to say that that's definitely going to work because it's not presenting very curse-like.
I mean,
Cool. Russ and I are gonna just try out juice for a while, apparently, together. So it's fine. It's great. I'll let him know that it's sticking around.
you know what? You know what? Saga made a very industrious habit out of finding some very interesting juice recipes. I don't recall many of them. One of them was a bit crunchy, but I'm sure there's better options out there beyond crunchy juice.
What makes it crunchy?
The sugar.
A lot of sugar. A lot of sugar. She put in so much sugar. It was maybe a whole little sugar bowl. She liked sweet things.
I'm sorry about that. And also, he'll just motion to like his face and arm, and also that. Let's make that our next priority.
Well, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, I think, with everybody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nix, just I don't want you to worry about anything. If worst comes to worst, we'll get you out of this. But let's work through it soon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, there's a lot, and not everyone's here.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't need to go
Kelt
over
should
it
at
all.
least be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Fen.
Definitely. We gotta have everybody here to talk about it.
Yeah. So, but it's great. I'm gonna go back and tell him that we're stuck with trying sugar juice.
Well, probably better things than sugar juice. I'd honestly recommend leaving off the piles of sugar. It was a bit much.
It's something to try. I'm gonna go. She's just gonna walk out.
Bye.
And tell him all about the sugar juice when she gets there.
And he nods and is like, see, I just started this like whole health thing, and I was like at working out in the mornings, but we can certainly try juices. We can get into, I think I could get into like, I could be a juice guy. Do I look like a juice guy?
We could. Yeah. Maybe. Well, it's fine. It might be forever, is what it sounded like.
Well, juice it is.
You don't have, if it's forever, you can have some. It's fine. I can find something new.
Listen, as long as you are like in the space with me, I'm not going to partake in anything besides juice. I don't know if I've ever ordered a juice at a tavern.
I don't think I've ever ordered anything other than alcohol at a tavern.
I don't know if they have anything else. At least I've never asked. So, we can learn new things.
We can ask.
Saga's managed it.
Yeah. You can at least see what they offer. It'll be fun.
What a fun adventure. I'll figure out what sort of juice that I prefer. Am I more of a cranberry guy? I don't know.
Whole world of exploration.
I have no idea.
Well, to juice, I suppose.
So, yeah, they could go back to talking like they were before.
Yeah.
The message.
And slowly leave the topic of juice behind.
Mm.
Anything else from team Nana and Roshan?
I think either when Nana finally decides to go to sleep, or if he needs to just go use the restroom, he will message or sending Egil and say, back in town, just taking the night to recuperate. Are you free anytime in the next couple days? Uh, I think he'll just end it there.
Okay.
Mm.
Glad to hear you're back. Safe. We can meet up tomorrow. I have a acquaintance you should meet. Anywhere but the inn.
He'll reply and um, I think he'll give like three options for like a brunch place, a lunch place, or a dinner place, and say if you're free at in the morning here, if you're free at noon here, if you're free in the afternoon here.
Hmm.
Afternoon. I hope you're doing better. That's the end of it.
He's not gonna reply to that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well,
I'll tell you later. Or maybe I won't.
who knows?
I think when Ro gets back from the bathroom, Nana's probably getting close to going to bed, but she'll she'll have kind of been pondering over something in the intervening time. Probably looks obvious to Ro, who's known her an awfully long time. I don't. I don't blame Nyx for wanting to talk about her business with everybody present, especially, with Fen off at the other inn right now and Keld not being present. But I don't know, I don't feel like she trusts me. I don't feel like, I don't know. Should I just I want to be
I
there for her.
I don't think it's that she doesn't trust you. I think she's struggling to come to terms with some really heavy things about herself. I don't want to steal her fire tomorrow,
And
so
I don't
act.
want you to spill anything of hers.
The ice will kill her if we don't do something about it.
I was wondering. I mean, like, I don't know. I just got a bad feeling when. Obviously, Russ is a great guy. I've nothing to say bad about him. Not a bit. And I very much care for Nyx and I want her to have everything good in the world, but they were betrothed and married the same day. And they seemed
Oh, I
quite
just
content to just go along for a while.
thought that's just because Russ is who he is. I'm not gonna lie.
It
Maybe
didn't.
you're right. Maybe it's they expedited the timeline.
I
I
mean, I
mean, at that
wonder.
point, things didn't look nearly as dire as they do today. But
Yeah,
Prime scares me.
yeah. I mean, it's fair. I'm sure it's scaring the hells out of her.
Got a favor left with Alyona, and if it comes to the point that I need to use it to save her life, I will. So it's not something that I'm afraid for, but I do think it's something that we need to worry about collectively, and hopefully we can resolve it without needing to call in a favor.
I hope so. Uh, she's she's important to our party, to our team, and to our cause. Beyond just being our friend, which should be enough on its own. We need her, and I'm not sure we can face Bosch without her. To say nothing of how her not being here would affect Keld. So,
If it were just you, me, and Fen, I don't think we'd give it one hell of a run, but there are strength in numbers, and their numbers add a whole lot more strength than mine does.
well, don't sell yourself short, but every single one of us means a great deal to this effort, and I think any one of us not being here is not going to improve our chances by any margin.
I
We
agree.
need you, we need them. We need us all. And we'll do what we can. I want to be there for all of you.
To be honest, it's not everyone keeping me in this. It's the need to fix something that I feel like I helped break.
With the ritual.
Yeah, I I can't help but feel that we had some effect on this, and it's something that we need to carry out. And who knows, maybe it'll get me closer to my sister, but
I
we'll
hope
see.
so. Yeah. I mean, who knows? It could have gone wrong the moment that Ave's crest left our possession. I don't know. I don't know if that was just something throwaway line, something sentimental he wanted us to hang on to, or if it was actually important to the ritual going off without a hitch, and we fucked it up right out of the gate. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot.
I don't either, but let me know if Snotraha has anything to say about it.
Well, I spoke to her at her seat of power last, and I'm not certain that she'll be willing to reach out long distance, but we'll see. And I'll let you know.
Best of luck.
And to you. Get yourself some rest or some good reading at least.
I've got a new book I might start. We'll see.
Yeah, I was wondering. Best of luck to you. It's hefty,
Sure is.
but I hope that it bears good fruit. Better for you than for its previous owner, at the very least.
May he never rise again.
Mmm, that I will heartily drink to. Night row.
All right. Good night, boys. Nana eventually finds comfort in a straw bed with a thin sheet, but at least a hefty quilt atop it. And Roshan, are you starting the tome?
How many days before the party?
It's like 4. It's like
4 dawns?
like it's like 1 second. It's like
Like,
Katie,
it
Katie, you
like
looked this up earlier.
oh
That
it
was
is
so long.
Are
you
we in
have 4
Majora's
more
Mask
nights.
timeline?
You have 4
Four more
nights.
nights.
4 more nights.
If there are 4 more nights, then yeah, I'll start it.
Okay. You begin reading the tome, and it is a slog. It is so dry. The driest tome you have ever stumbled across.
Drink some water to get through that.
It's rough. And you begin reading through this tome. Nothing else to do at night. Sure, there's something else to do, but not too much. Back over at the Song and Siren, songs are played and drinks are had. Casual conversation also takes place. Fen, is there anything else in particular you wanted to do, or are you just here for the talk and the music?
No, just here for the conversation, particularly with Corinne, and
Mm-hmm.
and to listen to Corinne play.
All
That
right.
I have no other objectives.
All right. Uh, it's she kind of flits between the two things. She'll come back over and have a drink and talk and smile and be merry, and then stand up and play another song that seems very pointed at you, and then come back over and continue conversation. And it's just about her day, the adventure you went on, because she asks questions. She seems genuinely interested, and anytime Fen tries to kind of like bat it away out of embarrassment or wanting Corrine to be the one talking so he can listen to her, um, she's often asking questions and asks more about your family and your life in Briarheart and your friends and the things you have done, and just gets the full rundown of you, just whatever she
Okay.
can get a hold of.
My, you asked about my grandparents. My grandmother was a great hunter, a renowned hunter.
Oh.
In the village, she kind of why I took up wielding a bow in the first place. To live up to her image. The the women of the village outshine the men by far, but uh, I I just want to be one of the people that defended the village from. I come from the west. The the darkness, the corruption was encroaching. There was always a need for people to protect what we had. That's my grandmother was a great inspiration to me. Um, but again, I hate to sit here and talk about myself. I'd rather just hear about you. How did you learn to play the harp so well?
Well, I can tell you a story about a very naive young girl who joined a traveling band and realized that very early on that she loved music. Maybe she didn't exactly love the people she was traveling with, but I will always be grateful for for the knowledge instilled upon me, that it got me to where I am. But a lot of it was self-taught after I left them, and I started focusing on myself, which I think was important. Which once I was able to focus on myself and my needs, I feel like I could help others with music much more cleanly. The music wasn't for me, it's for everyone else. It is my way to give back. And I am grateful that I have a way I can do that that's elegant and beautiful and that I enjoy. And I am incredibly grateful that your grandmother inspired you in such a way because I feel like you picking up a bow is just the first little step that brought you here. So consider me grateful as well. And she smiles and kind of looks over at the window and sees that there is like no light to be seen outside besides a few lanterns. We should go our separate ways.
I understand. Is there anything you owe here? I've got plenty of coin, my friend. I can clear up your tab. Uh, sorry, I'm just trying to be polite.
You are
This is
being
not my
perfect.
strongest. Okay, this is not my strongest position. Um,
Mhm.
when do you play again?
I'm hoping to play tomorrow night. I'm a bit busy in the afternoon this time tomorrow, so tomorrow night I think I can do another show.
And when can I speak to you when you're not working?
I think we can figure out something tomorrow. I'll check my schedule and we can figure something out.
All right. Thank you, Corinne. You have no idea how much it means to see you and to have heard your lovely art. It means it means a lot. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Good night, Fen.
Good night, Corinne.
And
And Finn will make
mhm,
his uh, half drunk, half love drunk way back to
mhm.
the hard fiddle.
All right. Fen makes his way back to find a different bed to sleep in, um, leaving the fancy inn behind, heading back towards the hard fiddle. Um, Keld, you are brought back to the tavern, to the hard fiddle, where there are more drinks to be had and excitement and a lot of the three ladies yelling at each other across the
Mm.
room. Like
Forever
anytime one of
changed.
them does something, it's like, yes, bitch, do it. Like it's a lot of that.
Amazing.
And drinks continue to flow. Conversation is had. It never kind of delves back into that space again,
Mhm.
into that darker space. It sort of stays in a much more presentable space,
I'm okay
a
with that.
normal space for a
Mm.
for a first meeting. And as the night draws on, Thor sort of looks at you. Hey, no pressure. Do you want to go up to my room or what?
Sure.
All right. Bye, you stupid
Mac.
bitches, and
Oh my god.
uh,
Geld looks around for his stupid bitches, but they're not here.
your stupid bitches are not present. All you
They're off
see
being stupid bitches elsewhere.
is Thor's friends being deep in their cups.
Mm.
Uh, Maggie currently pressing in towards what looks like maybe the most basic man in the room. It's kind of like when you see just like a pencil pusher kind of guy next to like a goth girlfriend. Like that is the
Mm.
aesthetics
That's
presented
funny.
between the two.
That's so
And
funny.
Randall is currently sitting on the furry leg of Gressa while they talk, and she's just like aggressively like brushing his hair back, and the man looks like he's having the time of his life.
Of
Um,
course he is. Who wouldn't be?
uh, uh, and Thor stands and yells out to them, and they're like get out of here, you stupid bitch, no, fuck you, and it's just a lot of back and forth
I
as
love it.
you follow Thor up to her room, and it looks like all of the other rooms just barren.
Mm.
And the door closes behind you, and that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story here at the Dice Cult, the stuff and the things, you know, the drill. Head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult. You can watch all the past episodes of On the Backs of Gods, any other ones of our D&D games, one-shots, Vampire the Masquerade, whatever suits your fancy. You can follow us at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, yeah. Or you can follow all of us at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, Katie makes beautiful dice. Everybody puts them in their fingers. They put them up to the camera. They say, "By golly, Katie's real great."
They are
Uh,
very
By golly,
funny.
Katie's real great.
She
by
is
golly.
though.
So if you're interested in that, Katie's of course putting a link in the chat, and you can go
Oh
get
yeah.
yourself some beautiful dice and
You
support our
should.
friend and Nyx, so she can keep buying
Mhm.
makeup and
So
having
I could
beautiful
keep
Yes.
traumatizing us visually, you know.
yeah, so
Oh
that we can
Yes.
God!
continue to grow this ice
Oh
and
Painful night when your
no.
fun.
entire face is blue.
It
Oh
just
God.
It
this
was
is
such a
who I'm
long
supposed to
time.
be.
We can't let that
Yeah,
happen, y'all. We can't let
yeah.
that happen.
No,
Don't
we
worry, guys. I'll do
can't.
the face last. I might do a little more up the face, but only a little bit. I'm not
Okay.
Maybe
cruel.
like across the eye a bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
like a little up the
no.
Yeah,
side. But then the
I'll do
rest
it.
will be, under the
Oh
collar.
God.
Um,
We
but thank
don't
you all
doubt you'll
again
do
for
it.
being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. We will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thanks for
night.
joining us, cultists.